Oh my gosh, that is absolutely massive. Hello and welcome to another one of my walking films. This one again is going to be a bit different. I'm just doing what I can at the moment, but I'm going to things and places that I've never been before or have fascinated me, and today is going to be, well, a bit of both really. But I'm just overlooking Lymm Dam at the moment. Fantastically beautiful place, so we're going to go around that a bit later, but firstly I'm going to take you into the village of Lymm itself. So Lymm Dam was actually built in 1824 as an old toll road basically between Stockport and Warrington. This basically is an old earthen works. It's obviously been improved in time, but this basically is what then created the lake behind the dam. So what we're going to do though is just walk up here about 20 meters and take a right through something called the dingle. Lovely, isn't it? Just only after a couple of minutes, just come to the lovely village centre. Wow. Right, this is Lymm Cross, which they think dates back to about the 1700s, built on a natural promontory of sandstone, just in the centre of the village. So it is quite busy, but it's absolutely lovely. So we're just going to head straight ahead. Just over this bridge and just left down this little terrace. Some good old proper engineering here, and we come out onto the Bridgewater Canal, which I'll give an explanation about a bit later because it will all tie in with where we're visiting. So let's go straight on. Don't know if that's a new name or not. Absolutely lovely, isn't it? Lymm Village actually appears in the Domesday Book in 1086, and after that basically there were a lot of large landowners that subsequently had quite an influence on the local area. It was certainly an aspirational place to live today. But yeah, it's very quaint actually. I've genuinely never really been here before. But the name actually means running water, or to be on running water, which is quite apt. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this place. After 10 very leisurely minutes, we just take a right down here and we're just going to head on the Transpennine Trail for a bit. By the way, I had a chat with the owner of that boat about the name and other things. He was great actually. And yeah, he said he couldn't think of anything more appropriate when he was naming it, so I said fair play. Right, so here's a trail, so we're just going to go left for about 100 meters or so. This was the route of the old Stockport to Warrington line that came through Lymm, shut in about, I think around about the early 1960s, along with a lot, but now is part of the Transpennine Trail. I'm sure this must be something to do with the old station. Brilliant, Statham Crossing. So what we're going to do is just take a right down the road here. Just, how does that timing happen? Right, we're just going right onto Whitbarrow Road. Leaf blowers are the other ones. I used to think it was chainsaws, but it's leaf blowers. But look, I'm not escaped of the fact I'm in Statham. So yeah, it's quite a tough town and doesn't mind losing its hair. I'm talking about Jason, obviously. The man himself, Jason Statham, playing a few tunes. Right, just found the footpath I'm looking for, straight down here. It's not the most obvious. It's a lovely woodland path, this. There's loads of really nice ponds and pools around here that I never realised existed. Wonderful. And wow, just suddenly opened out. It's fantastic. So why come to Thelwall Viaduct? Well, the answer is really a lot to do with me going to Widnes a lot recently and frankly driving over it, and I was just fascinated by it. It just looks so big. Just come off this field. I'm not going to go right, I'm going to go left. Only 10 meters. Let me just take a right down here. I just don't know if there is a path next to the ship canal, so because I've not been here before. So right, we'll go straight down here. And here it is, the Manchester Ship Canal. So the sound of the The M6 in the background. Right, I'm going to try and go for this. Okay, so by about the 1700s, Lancashire was known, because of its climate, have been very good to be able to produce and work cotton, because the fibres need a certain amount of moisture in the air so they don't snap. This was what happened in Lancashire. So, for example, I was unaware of this, but we were selling back to India, for example, this thing called the dhaoti, which was basically really part of their national dress. It was a simple cotton loincloth. But Manchester was literally kind of making all this by hand, and capacity was terrible. So anyway, what happened was, in 1761, Duke of Bridgewater opened a canal 39 miles long, but he had coal mines in Worsley and the surrounding areas. And what this allowed for was Manchester and the surrounding area to move away from water wheels and water power to steam power. So this massively increased the opportunities that they had to export more cotton products. Also, the opening of the canal allowed for a halving of the cost of moving cotton to and from Liverpool, because this was what then started to cause a problem. And by about the 1870s, it was decided by the sort of the fathers of Manchester business that they needed their own connection to the port of Liverpool, because by this point there were so many taxes being put upon them by, as they called them, their friends of Liverpool. So basically it was almost like how the War of Independence started in America. You know, it was getting pretty rough. So anyway, the design for this canal eventually was put through Parliament after a lot of opposition from Liverpool, and it eventually opened in 1894. And basically it just again halved the time that it took to get product in and out. And at one point in the 1950s, it was doing something like about 20 million tons of freight each year, and they do hope to open this up fully again soon, which is fantastic given the problems we're having at the moment of moving stock about. So yeah, that's a little story there of this area and the canals, but how important they have been, and hopefully how important they'll be in the future. I'd just like to say at this moment that is the longest bit of remembering I think I've ever done. Anyway, why are we here? Oh my gosh. The Thelwall Viaduct. Right, so we've got this lovely little bit of woodland here. And by the way, I do get quite intimidated by these sort of big things, but you know, it just does quite fascinate me. I had to take a moment with a canal as well, because you know, I'm not the best swimmer. It's quite imposing. But seriously, you'd be amazed how much of the River Mersey actually runs in and out of this, from where it starts around Ellesmere Port down to actually Earlham, where the ship canal properly finally branches off the River Mersey. But for certain points, they're literally one and the same. Oh, how can you get vertigo when you're on the ground? All right, you ready for this? 1, 2, 3. Oh my. That is absolutely ginormous. I know it sounds odd, but I'm lucky enough to have been to Karnak Temple in Luxor, and this is what it reminds me of. Absolutely stunning. When I told a few people I was going to do a video under the M6, I think they were like, what? I knew what I was coming for, but I didn't expect to be bowled over by how massive this is. I think this was one of my better ideas. Okay, so the northbound one is actually the older of the two viaducts, which was opened in 1963. The now southbound one was opened in 1995, and as you can see, the difference and the development of construction methods means it's a lot slimmer. But basically they are 93 feet above the ship canal, and as near as darn it, 4,500 feet long. They take 150 to 170,000 cars over them each day. But it's amazing to think the old M6 was literally all above us here, all 6 lanes of it. So absolutely incredible. I'm quite blown away by the place, actually. Also quite worried about those loud bangs. Okay, rubbish finger pointing, but just there, that is a peregrine falcon. I never thought the M6 could look this good. But yep, ladies and gentlemen, the Thelwall Viaduct. So anyway, that's been an hour and a half, about 4.5k. And what I'm just going to do now, basically you can keep walking straight ahead, turn left whenever you want, but I'm going to walk down this service road here and rejoin the Trans-Pennine Trail. They must be taking the bins out or something up there. Right, a bit of honesty here. That path on View Ranger was showing this was a lane that led onto the road and the gate was open, so okay, so I've had to come through the gate, frankly, but yeah, okay. But basically, you can walk along the ship canal and there's lots of lefts that will basically bring you to this road here, which we're now going to follow off to the left. Got to point out, I don't condone trespassing or anything like that, but there are absolutely no signs there to show otherwise, so I did what I thought was sensible. Barely 300 metres from the viaduct. It's great. I think, as you can probably gather, I'm just more bothered about showing you that amazing piece of industrial architecture. But anyway, public footpath here. We're going to go across back onto the Trans-Pennine Trail. Best thing about today for me, apart from one minor misdemeanor, but seriously, is looking down from that viaduct over the years and just looking over, particularly on this side, and it just looks such a vibrant landscape. I'm just really excited to actually see what is actually here. Oh no, for all that talking about maybe it didn't matter. I've only gone and sent the police helicopter after me. Great, the Trans-Pennine Trail. So that's just 6 kilometres. Be about 2 hours if you're not doing the filming. But basically, I'm going to head straight back the way I came to Lymm Dam. So that's where I'm going to meet you next. So that was 8k, 2.5 hours. Now at Lymm Dam. So I hear this is about a 2k walk. So let's go. It's not flat, this path, but really well marked out, really easy to follow. Super. You won't believe this, I actually filmed a kingfisher in that last shot, but it was right over the other side of the lake. But yeah, they're here. Lots of fun to be had here. Wow. Anyway, still following the lake. By the way, seen 2 kingfisher now, and oh, it's just really good for wildlife. I've seen widgeon, seen great crested grebe. It's absolutely super. That's a nice little bridge. Over we come. Over another one. Yeah, we're just now just going to go left all the way back. It's been wonderful, this. Like I said, I enjoy doing new things. I've just took a gamble here. Not quite sure where this goes. Yeah, but it was a top gamble. Well, I think this is as good a spot as any. Just to sign off, we're nearly finished now around Lymm Dam. So in total, that little adventure was just over 9k and about 3 hours, but I've been doing a lot of filming. But thank you very much for coming with me on a walk underneath the M6. I hope you've enjoyed it. I really have.